Hello, Jasmine. Oh, hello, Vicky. Molly, oh gosh, how lovely. Everyone's here. That's so cool. So nice to see you. Jasmine, Vicky is joining us as a moderator. So, oh, Lynn, hello. I was just saying that Vicky is also going to join us as a moderator. So we've got Lynn, Vicky, Jasmine. Lovely to see you. I'm good. How are you? How are you all doing? How are you, Molly? How are you doing? Have you made any lovely sourdough recently? I love watching your videos. Oh gosh. Oh, let's have a look. Alicia. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Are you feeling better? Because you've had COVID, haven't you? So are you feeling all right? I hope you're feeling okay. It's nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. It's really nice to have everyone here. Just having a look. I really love the way everyone's beginning to know each other. So I see little bits of conversation and people saying hello. It's really nice. And oh, Molly, you're saying you're at work today. Yeah, really good how the dough came out. That's good. Let's see. Oh, Emily. Oh no, I missed a bit. I have to put my glasses on. So let's have a look. Emily, yeah, you missed the last few, but it's really nice to have you here. So I'm glad you're here. Let's have a look. Bobby, really nice to see you. Gosh. No, I'm not tired anymore. I was really tired the other day. I've got my energy back, so it's really nice to see you. Thank you for being here. It's lovely. So welcome, everyone. And I see shades of kilo. So you are straight in there with questions. So I will see. I'm going to hold with my fingers so that as your first person with a question, I'm going to hold that there so I can answer your question. But I just want to welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. This is an hour's worth of chatting about anxiety. I'll answer as many questions as I possibly can. And this is a safe space for everyone. So zero tolerance of anyone who's not so nice. I've got some really lovely moderators here. I've got lovely Lynn and Jasmine and Vicky. I'm not. If anyone else has arrived, sometimes there's also Vicky and Zanshin, and we kind of have zero tolerance of anyone who's rude or, not so nice. But hopefully there's lots of good communication, good community here. So where are you all from? Let me know where you're from. Where are you joining us from today? I am keeping I'm keeping Shades of Kilos question stuck on my screen with my finger so that I don't lose it, because you're straight in there with a question, and that's wonderful. Nearly poked my eye out with my glasses. I've been having a very nice relaxed few days. I was really tired Saturday night, but I had a long lie-in Sunday. I think you have to, don't you? You have to listen to your body and look after yourself. So, okay. So I'm going to answer Shades of Kilo's question quickly before I lose it on my with my finger holding it here. So your question, is there a particular therapist that I should go to about past trauma in relationships? So therapy is really about you finding the right person for you. And there's so many different types of therapy, whether it's counselling, whether it's hypnotherapy, cognitive hypnotherapy, so many different types of therapy. And so the first thing is to thinking about what sort of therapy would perhaps suit you. And you can only find that out by looking around at various types and chatting to people. Past trauma is something that I think probably all of us deal with. It depends on the sort of trauma that you've experienced, and so it's well worth talking to therapists and saying, what experience do you have dealing with trauma? Are you trauma trained? Trauma informed, and really go with your gut as to what their training is and how they would deal with the particular issues that you're experiencing. So that's what I would say. I know it's a bit of a general answer, but hopefully that helps you a little bit. So Captain Cornflake says, am I live often? I go live every Friday at 10 a.m. in the morning UK time, and every Monday at 5 p.m. Hopefully, unless life gets in the way. Sometimes life happens, doesn't it? User 494437. Hi Sarah, have you any experience with health anxiety? Yes, I do work with people with health anxiety. I specialise in working with people with all sorts of anxiety. There are lots of various different labels for anxiety: health anxiety, social anxiety, there's phobias, fears, general anxiety, all sorts of anxieties. And although those labels are there and they give us a bit of an idea of what the anxiety is about, everyone who suffers from anxiety, which we all do, everyone is unique. So I tend to approach it in that way, that treatment is tailored to the individual. So I hope that helps a bit. Okay, so, thank you. Gosh, thank you for sending me likes. That's very, very lovely of you, very kind. I do appreciate that. Thank you. So let's have a little look. I'm just having a look because the questions come through so quickly, and I do appreciate you asking questions. If you have any questions, if I don't answer you, it's not because I'm avoiding you or anything, it's just they come through very quickly, and because I'm blind as a bat, I can't always read them, and they go, boom, they're through. So I'll do my best to answer as many as I can, okay? And thank you for asking. If you'd like to send me a question, you can always send it by email from my website. So let's have a little look. Let's have a look. I'm just seeing some of you answering my question about where you are. So Bobby, you're in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Molly, you're Australian, but you live in Edinburgh. That's a big difference, isn't it? Snorts to North East Lincolnshire. Caroline McDonald, North Oost. Am I saying that right? I'm not sure if I am. James, you're from Scotland. C14C1 from Bedfordshire. Magdalena, Falkirk, Scotland. There's lots of people from Scotland today. That's really cool. Rebecca, you're from Durham. Leah, you're from Oxford. Jane, you're from Leeds. It's so lovely, isn't it? There's just like people from all over the place. It's just great. It's such a great place to have a community. Georgia, you're from Norfolk. Gabrielle, you're from London. Alexandra from Bristol. Captain Cornflake, you're from Maidstone in Kent. It's so great. Really brilliant. Thank you for joining me. It's so brilliant seeing all these people, all from all over the place. It's really, really great. So let's have a look. Let me answer some questions. I'm going to answer some questions for you. And so I'm having my first trauma therapy session tomorrow. So amazing. I hope that goes really well for you, and well done for reaching out and getting help. That's just fantastic. So it's okay if you feel a bit nervous about it. That's completely normal, and the therapist will do their best to make you feel comfortable and work with you at your pace. So I hope it goes really well. I'm sure it will. Lauren from London, Corris Mid Wales, Ania Bethan. I hope I got your name right. Cat Walsh from Surrey. It's so cool. That's really good. Okay, let's do a question. So Mimi Baker, I have a metaphobia and I have to get a 10-hour flight. I'm so worried. Please give tips. Okay. So emetophobia is when you have a fear of being sick or people being sick around you. That it manifests in lots of different ways. It's very unique for each individual. So I'm sorry that you feel that. It's quite often it can be about control. It can be triggered by perhaps an event that happened in your life earlier that makes you feel a certain way about being sick. So if you've got a 10-hour flight, I would say it depends where the flight is. You know, if you've got time to go and see someone, I'll just put that back up there. If you've got time to go and see somebody and to work through this, then it might well be worth going to see a therapist. If you haven't got time, then self-care, looking after yourself, is really good, and to chunk things down, because it's very, very unlikely that you're going to be sick or that anyone else is going to be sick, okay? The chances are that everything will go really, really well. And what's happening is your brain is taking you out into the future and thinking through all the worst case scenarios, so that you're thinking, well, how am I going to cope with this? How am I going to cope with that? So I think one of the really good things is to help you be in the moment and to help yourself feel calm. And there's lots of breathing techniques on my profile page that can help you with this. And also techniques to bring you to the moment, so you can just be chilled here and now in this moment. I would say also, going on a 10-hour flight, to sort of plan ahead, giving yourself things to do so that your brain is distracted. So, hopefully they've got films on there, maybe take a book so you can read, maybe have games on your phone, depending on what you really like and what you enjoy. So maybe listen to podcasts, because there can be all sorts of things, so that you have lots of things, lots of variety to keep your brain occupied and active, so that your focus is on the stuff that you enjoy, the stuff that can help you feel calm, rather than thinking about, oh, what if this happens, what if that happens, okay? So I hope that helps, and good luck. I wonder where you're going. Are you going somewhere very exotic and lovely? It sounds like you are if it's a 10-hour flight, but definitely, if you have time, over time, to get help with emetophobia, it absolutely can be sorted out for you. So good luck with that. I hope that helps a little bit. Let's have a look. Oh gosh, this is a really good question. So user 64001511 just became a wellbeing officer in work. Any tips for supporting nursery practitioner staff? Gosh, well, that's really good, isn't it? I would say letting them know that you're there to help them, letting them know that you are a safe space for them, and that perhaps there's times when you can listen to them, and really actively listening to what their issues are, being aware of what's the norm, getting to know the people that you're working with, so that you get to know what their baseline normal is, so that if things start to go a bit pear-shaped for them, a bit wrong, then you notice that. So it's really about noticing. So it's about knowing people when everyone's fine and well and coping well in the job, so that when things do change, you've already built up that rapport, and you notice the difference. So perhaps if they're a bit quieter, or if perhaps they're a bit more nervously talkative, that sort of thing, and so that they begin to know that you're a safe space, so they can talk to you, let them know. That's basically what I would say, and let them know, and sort of also maybe be looking for places. If you Google it, in wherever your area is, you'll find that there will be lots of sort of helplines and so on, and always direct people to say, go and maybe talk to your GP. Maybe this helpline might help you, or this charity might have resources for you, that kind of thing. So that you're not trying to solve their issues, but you're more of a conduit and a safe space for them to be able to talk about them. I hope that's helpful. Let's have a look. Thank you. I'm glad that you. So I don't know how to say your name. Suko. Saying that the way I talk is soothing. So I'm really glad about that. Thank you. So overthinking. So 444 Erin is talking about overthinking. So this is something that I think it's a really natural part of being anxious, because although when our nervous system believes that we're in danger, we get the physical response and all the physical symptoms, so we can feel the way that we feel, whatever that is, whether that's racing heart, or pains, aches and pains in our body, or nausea, or sweaty palms, or whatever it is. Overthinking is also part of it, because our cognitive brain kicks in and thinks, what's going on, what's happening, and we head off into the future, perhaps thinking, what if this happens, what if that happens? Or we might be in the past thinking, if only I'd done this, if only I'd done that, did I say the right thing, that kind of stuff. So with overthinking, what can help is to bring yourself to this moment, to understand that actually your nervous system is doing its best to help you, because it's trying to look at worst case scenario and help you work out what you might do if things did go wrong in the future. So it's okay to think over what might happen, but when that goes round and round and round and you're in that closed loop of behaviour, then that can be quite difficult and not very helpful. So to bring yourself to this moment, to perhaps write down the things that you're worrying about, make a list of them, and look at the things that you can solve. So the practical stuff like, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. And then the other things which are just, the stuff which is really not going to happen, that your unconscious is your nervous system and your brain is just thinking way beyond what actually might happen. You can cross those out and think, no, those are not going to happen. And these things might happen, but actually this is what I can do about them. And then use techniques that I share. Particularly, I always talk about this one, the pin post, where I go like this. Have a look at that one. That can bring you to the moment and help you just be in the here and now. Because if you can be present, that's very reassuring, because you realise, do you know what? I am just here, all is well, I'm safe right now. And then in the next moment, I'm safe here and now, I'm present. That can really be helpful. And also physical techniques as well. Some of the other coping techniques I talk about, and breath techniques, can send the physical message to your nervous system that all is well, you are safe. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, let's. How do I start getting anxiety treatment? This is from Kira. I have severe trauma from an event and family life, and you're in Kent. Thank you for asking that question, because that's, I'm really sorry that you've been through difficult times and you've been through trauma. And it's difficult to know where to go, isn't it? When you're perhaps feeling alone in what you're experiencing. So what I would say, the starting point is really your GP, to go along to your GP and talk to them and say, I need help, I need talking therapy. They might say, oh, well, there's a waiting list for talking therapy, so it may well be that you could find a therapist privately. It depends on, the money situation that you're in. Also, you can look at charities. So I don't know what happened to you particularly, but if you Google what happened to you particularly, then there are all sorts of charities that will be connected, support, that give support, that will perhaps have lists of people who can help you. And they might be able to give a discounted rate, or they might even be able to give you free help. I don't know. There's also places you can go. If you go to the counselling directory, if you're in Kent, aren't you? So you're in England, you're in the UK. So you can look at the counselling directory. You can look at the QCHBA therapist finder, which can be helpful too. You can phone up, you can talk to therapists, you can contact them, and any therapist worth their salt will be very happy to talk to you for free and describe what they do, how they can help you, and if they're trauma informed. Go for someone who's trauma informed. It may well be that something like EMDR or AMDR can help you. That's eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. That's really helpful with trauma, but there's all sorts of therapies that can help. So it's about doing your research as best you can, and asking for help from the people around you, and also perhaps from charities. So I hope that helps, and you are not alone. There are lots of people out there who've been wanting to help you, so I wish you well with that. My family have just come home. They're having a good old chat. So that if you hear any noise in the background, that's what it is. Say DAD Cookie, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Do you have any tips for when you can focus your mind, but the symptoms are affecting your body? So yeah, absolutely. That's completely normal for what's with anxiety. I think we think of anxiety a lot of the time as being worry and about overthinking. But actually what happens first with anxiety is that we get the physical symptoms, and it's only after a little while we get the cognitive brain kicks in and we try and make sense of what's happening. So if you're able to control the overthinking, then that's a brilliant thing, fantastic. But what that's doing is almost like putting a sticking plaster over a volcano of stuff that's going on inside you. So a lot of the stuff that I share on my page are physical techniques, stuff like changing the focus of your eyes, changing the way you breathe, slowing everything down, doing a body scan to be able to be aware of what your muscle tone is doing. Things like that can be really helpful. So do go and have a look on my profile, that there's in the categories there's lots of different techniques that can help you. I really hope that helps. And also, obviously, there's so much that you can do working to help yourself, but working with a therapist can actually take you to the place where you find out what the trigger point was for all this, and you can reframe it and help your mind understand that was then, this is now, and that you're safe now. So I hope that helps a little bit. Welcome to everyone who's here. It's so lovely. I kind of get carried away, and I know people are constantly joining and they're going away and joining and going away. So it's so lovely to have you here. Thank you for being with me. I'm Sarah. I'm a cognitive hypnotherapist. I work in Hertfordshire, in the UK, but I have a private practice, but I also work online. So I work with people from all over the world. At the moment, I'm working with people in the States, in Canada, in Switzerland, all over the UK. And so mostly what I do is working with people who are experiencing anxiety. So if you're experiencing anxiety, I'm really glad you're here, and hopefully my page can help you a bit. And I want you to know that you don't have to feel how you're feeling, that change can happen. And there's a lot we can do to help ourselves without having to fork out any money. And if you have any questions, do ask. And I know I can see there's there's hundreds of people have put questions, and I know I talk a lot, but I try and get through stuff. And I've got hopefully this is a safe space. It's a lovely community, and I've got lots of really great moderators helping me to keep this a safe space. So thank you to Lynn, thank you to Jasmine, thank you to Vicky, thank you to other Vicky and to Zanshin who help me when I do my lives. So my lives are every hopefully Monday and Friday, and I always post them on my profile, so you can register if you fancy. So let's have a look. So Lashes by Neve. I have emetophobia too, so if anyone needs anyone to talk to, my messages are open. So that's so cool. Thank you, Neve. It's great. It's a great community, and I love the fact, I see people and I see conversations during the live between people, between my moderators and between you who are watching, because you realise that you're not alone, and actually it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. You're not going to be stuck like this forever, and that we're all here to help one another through kindness and through practical advice and help, hopefully. So let's have a look. So Megan Welsh. Megan says, how do I help my partner struggling with anxiety, depression, and his mental health? So I'm going to answer your question, Megan, but I just saw Mimi Baker after you said, that's really helpful, thank you so much, and you're going to Mexico. So you were talking about emetophobia and your 10-hour flight. So I'm really glad it's helpful. You will have an amazing time, and I hope you have a fantastic time in Mexico. So enjoy. So Megan, talking about your partner. So that's so amazing that you're on here and thinking about someone else, thinking about someone that you love. And I'm sure there'll be lots of other people here who perhaps are searching around, thinking, how can I help this person that I love, my partner, my mum, my daughter, my son, whoever it is. So thank you for being so kind. It really makes a difference when you're suffering from anything to do with your mental well-being. Having people there who are non-judgmental, who are kind, who listen, who don't necessarily try and give you advice, who just are there, who could say to you, do you need me to just listen? Do you need me to give you a hug and hold you? Do you need me to give you advice or give you my point of view on this? Then, it's different every time. So to have that conversation, what do you need from me? Because it's really important that a lot of the time that you're led by the person who's suffering. Because quite often we can really be wanting to do our best, and we try and take control, and sometimes people don't want that. Sometimes they do, but not always. And so to be able to say to them, what do you need from me, is really helpful. To be able to listen, to just really listen, to be with them in your body, in your mind, to nod, to use non-verbal communication, to let them know that you are absolutely with them, to slow down, to sort of join your breathing with their breathing, to match your body language with theirs. That can really be helpful. And to let them know that when they're going through difficult times, that it is temporary, that they won't have to be suffering like this forever, that actually this is a period of their life that is very difficult, but you will get through this together. But I think also it's really important that you look after you too, because it can be very exhausting. It's exhausting to struggle with your mental health, but it's also exhausting for the person who's supporting that person. So it's important for both of you to have time separately, time for self-care, to do stuff, to get into nature, to do things that you love doing for yourself as well, so that both of you get the release of those hormones like oxytocin, like dopamine, like serotonin, like endorphins, that send the message to both of your nervous systems, it's okay, we're safe. So I hope that helps a little bit. But it's a really good question. Thank you. Oh gosh, and I've just seen this question from Meg Evans 23. Hi Sarah, do you do any talks about anger management? So that's a really good point that you're raising there, because anger is actually part of the fight or flight response. It's the fight part, isn't it? And quite often, I know when I had postnatal depression, when my boys were really little, which is like 22, 24 years ago, I was really angry a lot of the time. I was so grr all the time, and it was part of the depression. And anger management, firstly, anger is normal and natural, and it's okay to feel angry. We all get angry at times, but it's when that anger boils over, and if the anger is damaging to the people around you, if the anger spills over into physical anger, violence, then that's not so good. I think that it's important to know that underneath anger, because anger is a protective response, it is something that shows that there is a need in that person's life, a need that's not being met. And that can be all sorts of things, it can be a need for control, it can be a need for love, it can be a need for safety, it can be all sorts of things. So to understand that, and perhaps to look at the pattern of anger. When are you, or when is the person getting angry? What are the particular situations where they get angry? And there will be a connection generally. And if you have a look at that connection and think, okay, what is the need that's not being met? Is there anything I can do about that to help myself, or to help for that person to help themselves? That can be really good. So we're not trying to control the anger so much. If we're meeting the need underneath the anger, then the anger will go away. It's the same as with any, with the flight, with the overthinking, with the anxiety. If we look at the need underneath, the understanding that our nervous system has that we're in danger, what's the danger? If we can help our nervous system to know that we're safe, then the need for the protective behaviour it will go away. And sometimes that can be with removing ourselves from an environment. Sometimes it can be looking at an event that's happened in the past that's triggering you. It can be all sorts of things, and it's a very individual thing, which is why therapy can be very helpful. And it's why, if you're on medication can be amazing. I'm not going to give any advice about medication because I'm not a doctor, but it's always really helpful to combine that with talking therapy, because that's the thing that goes down and digs deep and finds out where's this coming from, so that we can deal with that. So I hope that helps you a little bit. So Ace Marie, that's a really good comment as well. Anyone else's anxiety worse in the mornings, like when you know you have to go to a place that day? So that's such a great comment and such a great thing to raise, because one of the things that happens in the mornings is that when we wake up, one of the things that can happen to us physically is we do get a bit of a spurt of a release of cortisol, and cortisol is one of the stress hormones, and it's completely natural. We all get it. It's one of the things that helps us kind of get up and get going in our day. But if we're already at a level of anxiety where our stress hormones are up here, and then we wake up in the morning and we get that spurt of cortisol, then that can make us feel, gosh, I'm anxious. And particularly if you're looking ahead and thinking, I've got this thing that I've got to do today. So that's quite a normal sense. I've often hear that people feel very anxious in the mornings, and then perhaps it can feel a bit better during the course of the day. So it's interesting, isn't it, if you're feeling that. Let's have a little look. Oh gosh, thank you so much, all of you who are following me. That's so kind of you. I'm always amazed. It's really so lovely. It's just, I started on TikTok in November, and I just never imagined that anyone really would be that interested in what I had to say, because I love I love the work that I do. I love helping people, and I love training new therapists, which is what I do. But I hadn't realised the need that there was of people who, there's a lot of people, especially after COVID, the last few years, and everyone's been through traumatic times. It's very, very difficult for everyone, and it's so hard for everyone to get help. And so if I can help a little bit by just generally talking about stuff and giving some helping advice and some techniques for free so that you can access it and begin to realise that you're not alone, and that it's okay to feel the way you're feeling, and it's not going to be like this forever, then I'm so happy to do that. And it's just I'm just blown away by your support. So thank you so much, all of you. Let me have a look. I better answer some questions instead of go talking. Sia, sorry if I said your name wrong. I went to London and felt barely anxious, but then I can be sitting and feel super panicky. So that's really such a good point. Anxiety is different for all of us, and we can feel anxious, and it's like really obvious why we're anxious, because we're in a situation like we're about to do our driving test, or we are in a situation where there's danger, like a really sketchy place that we're in, and then obviously we're going to feel anxious because our nervous system kicks in, and that's great, it's doing its job. However, there can be times when we're just sitting at home and we're safe, we're in our safe place, and bang, we're in a panic attack, or we just start to feel that feeling of I'm anxious. And what's generally happening there is that our brain is making a match with something that's happened in the past. So what happens in life is that we're born and we're just living our life and everything's going along nicely, and then something will happen, and it doesn't have to be a big T trauma. It can be anything at all that our nervous system believes is of threat to us, because our nervous system is constantly scanning our environment from the moment that we are consciously aware or unconsciously aware. And consciously, we can take in about 5 to 7 bits of information every second. So like I can see, I've got my glasses here, I've got my phone, I've got the window, that kind of stuff. But unconsciously, our nervous system, through our vagus nerve, through our skin, our sense of smell, eyesight, hearing, through our nervous system, we are taking in about 11 million bits of information every second. And of course, we can't consciously be aware of that, but it's all going in from the minute that we're aware. And so if our nervous system has the belief that there's something that is not quite right in our environment, it will trigger the fight or flight response, and that is anxiety. So it may well be that happened when you were 3 years old or 4 years old, and something was like, oh, this is not, I'm scared. And you survived it, but your nervous system took a snapshot of that moment. Unconsciously, you wouldn't have been aware of it, but that snapshot is stuck in your brain, so that for the rest of your life, you can be triggered by stuff that was in that snapshot. So it might have been a colour or a sound or a particular animal or a particular type of person. And so that's why you can be sitting at home completely safe. You might be watching the telly, and in the background of a TV show, there's a bit of music that's being played. And that was the bit of music that was happening all the way back then. And that's enough for your nervous system to kick in, because it's doing its best to protect you. So I hope that helps. And what you can do about that is to use the stuff that I share. You know, it's that physical messaging to your nervous system. Slow down. It's okay. Calm. Look at where we are. It's all right. We're safe. We're home. And I'm sort of saying that as a cognitive thing, but what we're doing is that by doing the physical techniques that I share on my page, that sends the physical message, and that's the thing that makes the difference, not thinking our way out of anxiety. So I hope that helps a wee bit. So let me have a little look. I'll have a little scroll. Again, I want to say thank you to my lovely moderators who keep this place a safe space, to Vicky and Lynn, and to Jasmine, to Zan Shin. So thank you very much for being here. Let's have a look. Oh, so no pulp kind of girl. Do you have any tips on grief? I just lost my mama and I struggle a bit. My heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you've lost your mama. Do you know what? Grief is devastating, and it is a long journey that we go through, and it is a very difficult thing. And I think anyone else here who has lost anyone that they love will have some idea what you're going through. No one knows exactly what you're going through. And I think it's about going with the flow of it, going with what feels right for you, perhaps looking after the practical side of trying to just be kind to yourself, to know that this at the moment is like a whitewater rafting ride of life at the moment. You know, it probably feels a bit out of control and you don't know what's going to hit you at any particular stage. So to be able to do the basic things of try and eat, try and sleep, try and be with people with whom you feel safe, and if you feel like talking to them, maybe there's a few people that you can talk with and that you can share. I think the awful thing about grief is that for us, I always remember when my dad died, and he died, we had time, we had the funeral, we did the whole thing with his ashes, and then I would look at people and I would think I saw him everywhere, like I'd see him in the shops or the petrol station, and I think to myself, oh my God, maybe he's not really gone, maybe this is like the Truman Show or something, like he's still there really, and he wasn't. But your brain plays tricks on you, and I remember thinking, how can everyone else just live their life when I've lost him and he's not here anymore? And so it is a case of keeping going, one small step in front of the other. There is a on the QCHPA, there's a thing called My Quest Hub, and there's a friend of mine, Jane Cowan, who's written a really helpful piece about grief and bereavement with lots of links and lots of helpful things to look at, websites, reading material, helpful apps. So it's My Quest Hub. I know I'm not supposed to send you off the app. The algorithm doesn't like it, but I don't care. Do you know what? On my do you know what? To hell with the algorithm. I'm blushing. To hell with the algorithm. I just feel like if you need help, go on my bio, and there are links, and there's a really good book. It's okay to not be okay. There's a link to the QCHPA website where you can actually there's this article. So I really hope that helps. But be kind to yourself. You will get through this. It's like grief is horrible, but it is kind of a reflection of how much you loved her. So keep going. If you want, if you want to get in touch with me privately, then do, and I can send you stuff privately that might be helpful and supportive. So I'm sorry that you're going through this at the moment. Okay, let me just move on a little bit. So Anissa Kauser says, how can I be more positive? That's such a good question, isn't it? Positivity is one of those things. It's like this thing that, we're all supposed to be positive, aren't we? And there's something that I use, which is positive psychology, and it's very much about being kind to yourself. And it's about, so there's a really great that I follow a colleague, should I say, of mine, Maria Sirois, is a positive psychologist, and she's done some fantastic work helping in exactly this. And a lot of it is about focus, and she talks about us all having a swamp and a pond in our life, and our swamp is the place where all the awful stuff goes, like the things where you bang your car, or you get a bill through the post that you can't afford, or someone's mean to you. That's the swamp. Put all that stuff in the swamp, because that's horrible. And at the same time, every day, each of us have a pond, and the pond is the place where we have the people that we love, and the kindness, and the sunset, or the sunlight coming through the window, or the birds singing, that goes in the pond. So we each have that, and it's about honouring the fact that we have this swamp full of difficult stuff, and also at the same time acknowledging, I also have a pond. There are some good things in my life, and really being positive is about thinking about, I choose where I give my focus. So I honour the swamp, but I choose to give my focus to the pond as much as I can. And it's about practicing and trying your best. A lot of the things that I ask my clients to do is to perhaps each day to have a little notebook, and at the end of each day reflect on the day and think, what was my best moment today? And it helps, because what you do is your brain goes back through your day and starts trying to sort out what were the moments that were okay, what were the least bad moments, and start to think, okay, I'm going to choose this one. This was my best moment of today. And it means that in the course of your day, you start to be more aware of the good stuff. And if you keep a notebook of it, it's evidence. So you can look back at the evidence that you have and go, oh yeah, actually, that happened, and that happened, and that happened. And that was good. That was good for me, So, and also to be consciously aware of in your day, if your default setting is, oh my God, this has happened again, this always happens to me, or to be able to go, hang on a minute, just let's stop for a moment. Is there another side to this coin? Is there something I can learn from this? Is there a positive side to this? Sometimes there's not. Sometimes life is just a bit crap. And it's about being kind to yourself in those moments. But it is a constant learning journey of, okay, I'm just going to see what is the silver lining in this situation, if there is one. And sometimes there is no silver lining in that moment. It's just really hard. But as time goes on, you can think, well, I can learn from that situation, and how can I help other people? You know, maybe in 5 or 10 years' time. It's like for me, 20 odd years ago, when I was suffering from postnatal depression, I was nothing good about that. It was awful, and I didn't really see the point of my life. But now I can look back 20 odd years later and go, I learned from that experience. And I don't want to be twee or trite about it, because I know people go through really, really hard stuff, and sometimes it's really hard to see that there's anything good about it. But I feel like if I can use my experience to help people now or in the future, then that at least is some small ray of light. And maybe that's something that you can think of too. So I hope that helps a bit. Good luck. You can do it. Right. Let's have a look. Some more. So we've got 15 minutes left of this. So I'll answer as many as I can. Try not to talk too much. I know I talk a bit. Let's have a look. So, addicted to TikTok. Oh, you and me both. Why does anxiety cause physical pain? Okay. So, okay. And I would just also, yeah, okay, never mind. So why does anxiety cause physical pain? So that is such a good question. That is a really good question. So physical pain comes because when our nervous system understands that we're in danger, that there's threat in our environment, or we're making a match with something in the past, triggers a fight or flight response, and that means we get a huge release of adrenaline and cortisol. That makes our heartbeat faster, it makes our breathing change, our blood pressure changes, and over time because all the blood goes to our big muscles, we can be very tense. Like we can tense our muscles. So all of the physical symptoms over time can chronically cause physical pain. It can cause it in the moment. So if you're having a panic attack, people quite often report they feel like they're having a heart attack. And that's because all of a sudden that burst of adrenaline, you can feel it in your belly being released, you can feel it in your chest, you can feel the tension, and that's what's happening. And over time, like people who experience chronic pain, quite often that is attached to an emotional event that's caused anxiety, and over time that constant level of stress hormone can create that sense of pain. And it is real pain. I'm not saying that it's all in your head at all. The pain that people feel with anxiety is absolutely real and physical, and that's why I talk about the way the physical techniques that I teach help reduce the physical pain that people feel over time. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Let's see. So Madison, that's such a good question. So yeah, and I saw sending love 55. So that's how chronic illness occurs. So yes, it can be. I'm not going to say I'm going to diagnose every chronic illness is down to that, but actually it can play a huge part over time. If you think about the physical, the way your body feels physically, over time, if you've constantly got really high levels and you're holding yourself really tightly, and it can. Not every illness, but some. Yes, I hope that. So Madison, sorry, I digressed. How can you? Oh, I lost you. Oh, how do I not let the problems of the world stress me too much? That's such a good thing, and it's about So I think we tend to, it's so understandable to go, to think, what's happening to the world? You look at the world and you think, what chance do we have? What does the future hold for us all? And it can be so absolutely awful if you let your brain go down that rabbit hole of the what ifs. And I think I can only sort of talk personally with the way I've dealt with this, because I watched there's a various documentaries that I've watched over time. There's one particularly about what was it called, like sea something to do with the sea. Anyway, it basically I thought, well, what's the point? We're all going to die, really. And I know that sounds awful, but over time I just thought, well, actually, what will be will be. All I can do is live my life in the best way that I possibly can. And when you think about the circles of control that we have the understanding that we can control a whole lot more than we actually can. We think, I can control this person and that person and the world. But in fact, all we can control is ourselves. So I can control what time I get up in the morning, if I have a shower, if I blow dry my hair, what I eat, how I talk to people, that kind of stuff. I can try and influence people around me, people I know, people I meet in real life, people that I might meet online. I can try and influence you, but I can't make you think something. I can't make my husband or my sons think anything. I don't have any control over anything but myself, and I certainly don't have any control over politics, over the environment, over the universe at all. So once I begin to realise that, once I begin to know, actually it's all out of my control, it's always been out of all of our control, it can either make you feel, oh my God, or it can make you think, do you know what, how liberating that I am just in control of this moment here and now. And if I can make this moment the best that I can make it, if I can be calm here and now, if I can be kind here and now, then this is what matters. And if we all do that, and say everyone, for example, everyone in this live, or everyone in this little community, or in your community in which you live, your family, the people that you're with, if you can begin to spread that sense of kindness, of just care for one another, then all of a sudden it just creates a little oasis of love and kindness where you are. And hopefully that starts to be like splashes of light in the darkness that begins to join up. And that's all we can do. I really think that it's all we can do. I can't change the fact that there are people out there, politicians, there are factories spewing smoke and stuff. I can't change that. I can become a veggie or a vegan, or I can, not drive my car, I can walk places. I can do my little thing, but that's all I can do. And actually, if we all did that, that would make a really big difference, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Let's have a look. So, we've only got about 5 minutes left. Let's have a little think about... Oh, no pulp kind of girl. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Amy. Hello. Okay, let's have a look. Let me answer some other... So, health anxiety. So, Mads Imogen, do you have any advice for health anxiety? Really struggling, keep telling myself I have cancer. So, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Health anxiety is an absolute swine, isn't it? It's really hard when you're struggling from health anxiety. And I think, in a way, it's awful because, when you suffer from any sort of anxiety, it's really hard. But when you suffer from health anxiety, it's that sense of, I've got anxiety, and because I have anxiety, I start to have the physical sensations and symptoms of anxiety. And then my brain starts telling me that means this. that means that you've got cancer, or I've got this, or you know. And so it's really difficult because you get stuck in that closed loop. It's well worth going to see a therapist if you possibly can about health anxiety, to help you begin to reframe that. Again, I would always say that to be able to understand that this is a temporary thing that you're going through, and that to be able to help with the health anxiety, what you need to do is to be able to lower the levels of stress hormones so that you begin to reduce the number of symptoms that you get that your brain is going to be telling you mean more than they actually are. Because the calmer you can get, the fewer physical symptoms you'll get, and so therefore the fewer physical illnesses your brain is telling you that you might be suffering from. And that is done by creating an environment of safety, connecting with the things that make you feel good, the things like connecting with other people, connecting with yourself, perhaps meditation and yoga, whatever it is that makes you feel relaxed. And that's different for all of us. For some of us it's meditating, for others it's riding a mountain bike, or baking or knitting, or something like that, singing, partying, that kind of thing. So sending that physical message, doing the stuff like the exercises that I share, the breath exercises and the physical coping techniques. But it's interesting. I think it is really helpful to talk to a therapist, to go back to find out where has this come from, because with health anxiety it can be about something you are genuinely actually suffering from, and all of the what ifs, like where is this going to lead to, or maybe someone else in your life is suffering from a health issue, or perhaps someone did in the past, and you're worried about the future, and a therapist can help with that. So I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, Izzy, okay, yes, Izzy TT18. Okay, so Lynn sent me the message. Where is the thing? What's your message? So I'm trying to see it. I'm just scrolling through, Izzy, to see. Hang on, I'm just trying to see it. So I'm just scrolling through because I'm just trying to see it, and I can see Zanshin that you're there. I'm just trying to catch it. I won't leave until I've seen this and dealt with it, okay? So I'm just seeing, so Izzy, I'm getting the feeling that perhaps you're feeling really low, and feeling that there's no way out. Okay, so I'm really sorry that you're feeling that way, Izzy. This is it's really, really hard when you feel that way. And what I want you to know is that, there is always going to be a solution. Right now, perhaps you're not thinking quite straight, what happens is that our brain is searching desperately for a solution to the pain that we're in. And if you're in pain at the moment with whatever's happening for you right now, then I'm really sorry to hear that. But what I would ask is if there was a way that we could help you, or that people around you could help you solve whatever's going on for you, so that you weren't in that pain anymore, but you could actually find a solution and live your life and get to a place where the pain was gone but you still had life, then there is a way of doing that. And so I'm just checking that I'm not missing any parts of this. So what I would say is that maybe, so there's lots of ways that you can get help with this issue. Firstly, are there people around you that you can speak to? Sometimes it can feel almost impossible to speak to the people around us, but perhaps we feel worried or ashamed or guilty. We don't want to put that on them, but please, people around you love you and want you to be okay. So I would say if there's family members that you can trust and speak to and say to them, I'm feeling really low and I just can't think of a way to help myself, then talk to family members, talk to friends. because two heads are always better than one. If there is no one that you can think of right now, then there's always Samaritans that you can call, and that is, if I, off the top of my head, I think that's 0800 116 123. Let me have a look in my book, because I'm thinking that should be here. Yeah, 116 123 is the Samaritans, and you don't even have to speak. You can call them, and they will be there, and they will just be there. They will listen to you, and they will help you, and they can support you over time. There's also Papyrus, is really helpful too. Your GP, your doctor, there are therapists out there. You can all even call 999 if you feel really, really low and that you're worried that you're going to hurt yourself in some way, or if you're thinking of taking your life, then please don't, because everyone on here cares about you. No one wants to hear that you've hurt yourself in any way. And I would ask everyone on here, if you are seeing Izzy's messages and you're worried about her and you understand how it feels to feel really low, and you would like to send your love to Izzy to show them that we care, please double tap the screen now to show her love, so she can see, or you can see, or they can see the messages coming through. So please do that. And know that you are not alone. And I'm sure, you can see those hearts coming through, and those are for you, Izzy, for you to know that this whole community, I imagine that a lot of us have felt the way you're feeling right now. I have felt this way many years ago, and I thought that there was no hope, and I'm so glad that I reached out for help, even though it was incredibly difficult. It's the best thing that you can do. And I think the fact that you're on this live now, and that Lynn and Zanshin have reached out and tried to help you too, and that Lynn has done that whole capital letters, Sarah, deal with Izzy, help Izzy, we are here for you, absolutely, and we care. I think the fact that you're here shows us that you want to find a solution that involves you being able to live a full and happy life. So let's have a look. I'm just seeing if there's okay. So absolutely, yeah, and I can see user 645 saying, I lost a friend called Izzy to mental health. We all loved her. We all wish we had the chance to help. Reach out. Do you know, a friend of my son's recently killed himself, and no one knew, and the whole community has been devastated by his loss, because we loved him so much. We all loved him, and people in your community, your friends and family, love you. It's just perhaps at the moment you don't feel that. Everything is too painful. So I would say right now, if things are really, really desperate and you feel that you are in danger, call 999 because they will help you. Call 116 123 for Samaritans. They will also help you live and be able to support you. You can also look at Papyrus. Call your GP, because even if they're not open now because it's 6 o'clock, there will be an out of hours service, or you could go to your A&E department in your local hospital. And if you're thinking, well, actually, do you know what? I can see that there is a way forward, then what we need you to do is just keep yourself safe for now, to be with other people. So if you're alone now, please don't be alone. Please be with someone. Be with someone that you can feel safe with, because they would so much rather you reached out and asked for help than you hurt yourself in any way. Okay, so let me know. I'm gonna have a look through. Please, can you let me know that you're all right? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's really September says it's going to be okay, Izzy. It's just a feeling and it will pass, but it's important to speak to your doctor. She's absolutely right that it's really, really important to speak to your doctor. It's one of those things that if you have a look through at some of these messages, there's so many people that don't know you, have never met you, but they care because they feel your pain and they want you to be okay. All right, so please keep going, and please reach out to someone that you know, reach out to your doctor, reach out to a helpline, and understand that this will pass and that you are not alone. Come back here. My next live is going to be let's have a look. I'm going to do one quite early on Friday, so I'm going to do one probably either like about, I don't know, early Friday morning coming up, or I'm going to do one sort of lunchtime on Friday. So come back and let us know how you're doing. If you want to message me, you absolutely can. You could message me, have a look at my website. You can message me or just drop a comment, either here or on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, then you can direct message me, and I hope that helps. But keep going, because you will get through this. All right. I want to thank my moderators, because this is exactly why I have moderators, because I can't see a lot of the comments because I am blind as a bat, hence the glasses. But that's why I have Lynn, and that's why I have Vicky and Jasmine and Zanshin, Barry, that they're here to pick up the comments and the people who need help that I don't see. And Lynn, thank you so much for doing that message in bold, because I wasn't aware. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for your help. Okay, I'm just scrolling through just to see where we are with this. Okay. Okay. Oh no, Izzy said you jumped off. I don't know what she said. Oh, bless you. Are you there now, Izzy? Because you've had so much love coming to you. So much love. Oh my goodness. So Izzy, yeah, I'm speaking to you. Oh, Izzy, okay, so you're here now. So I don't know what you caught, but there has been so much love. All these hearts that you can see are all for you, because we're all like feeling for you and thinking, oh my goodness, it's like we want you to be okay. We want you to so to summarize what I said, and to summarize what I said is that you are not alone. A lot of the time when you feel like you're feeling, it's because your brain is going, there's just no other solution. It's like, I can't see any point. I can't see any hope. There's absolutely hope. There absolutely is, even if it doesn't feel like it. Just keep yourself safe. Be with other people. I would say get hold of your GP, and I know that's really hard at the moment, but do your best. You can reach out to me. You're very welcome to. You can DM me on Instagram, and I will see it. You can email me at sarah@saraheris.com, which is you can see that on my website. You can call Samaritans, which is 116123. But please know that there is always a way forward. And even though things might feel really difficult right now, we care about you, this community. If you scroll through the messages, you can see the number of messages absolutely to you, Izzy, so that you know that we want you to be all right. Okay? So, right, let me see. That's okay. So there's loads of love going to you. So much love going to you. Do get in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing, and if I can help in any way, if I can help sort of privately off the live, then let me know and I'll do my best for you. All right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this to a close now. I have huge apologies if I haven't answered your question. I'm going to do another live on Friday. I haven't decided the time yet, because I've got lots of stuff going on Friday, but I will do a live. It will be some point either in the morning or it's kind of lunchtime, UK time. I'm going to be doing a live, so do come. I'll post it on my profile so you can register. I'll do a little thing so you can set a reminder for yourself. Do come along. If you have questions that I've not answered, then please you feel free to email them to me or DM me with them, and I'll do my best to answer them. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you for being patient with me. If I didn't answer your question, I'm so sorry. I will try hard next time. And massive thank you to my moderators, to Lynn, to Zanshin, Barry, to Vicky and Vicky, to Jasmine. I couldn't do this without you. You are amazing. So thank you so much. I will see you all again on Friday. Take care of yourselves. Thank you if you followed me. Thank you if you've sent likes. Thank you for everything, for all your support always. And take care, all right? And I will see you Friday, and on my post, because I'll keep posting every day. All right, cheerio. I'm going to just have a little scroll and then I'm going to say goodbye. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.